Hi everyone. Today what we are going to do is we are going to understand how to make use of GitHub. So first of all, you need to understand how to create your Git account. So before I go to Git account, I would like to tell you what is Git. Okay. So if you look at what is Git, that is the first and foremost thing. So Git, it is a version control system and it is used to track changes to the files. What does it mean? For example, when you are creating any project in Eclipse, let us say I'm going to create a new project in Eclipse. Let's say I'm going to build a new Java project. Go to File, Project, and then you will be writing your Java project. You can select it here and click on Next. And then what you're going to do is you're going to give the project name as Git demo and then click on Finish. So now I have created one Java project. So you can click on Don't Create and then click on Open Java Perspective. Also, you can click No. And now if you see here, you will be able to see your Java project Git demo, which is created in your Eclipse. So what is going to happen here? Once you go here, generally what we will be doing, we will be going to the SRC and then you will be right clicking on this and then you are going to create the package. Under that you are going to create your class files. Let us say once you go to your SRC, you go to new and then create a package. So let's say I'm giving the package name as com.training.com and click on finish. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create my class file. So how do you create the class file? Let us say sample class file and then select public static void main and click on finish. So you can write whatever the code you wanted to write here. For now, time being, I'm just writing one system.out.println statement and then I'll be typing some text saying that this is Git demo. So once you create your class files, so what is going to happen? You have created one project in your Eclipse IDE. That means this is in my system. That means I am a developer. So what I am doing, I am creating one project and I am developing the required files. So what will happen if there is a team where multiple people are working? So generally what will happen, so I'll just open one diagram here. If you look at here, there are three developers in a project: developer 1, developer 2 and developer 3, and there is a development lead. So what will happen, first of all, your project requirement will be given it to you and there will be multiple modules. Let's say there are three modules: module 1, module 2 and module 3. So your developer will be working with all of you. Let us say he might ask you each developer. So developer 1 might be working on module 1 and developer 2 might be working on module 2 and developer 3 might be working on module 3. So your lead will be working with all of you where he will be coordinating with you, all of you, and he is working with you, all of you. And what is going to happen? He has to create the framework or a common project, and then based on that, you guys will be working on the rest of the modules. So what is going to happen? Whenever you are going to work with module 1, module 2, module 3, all these three forms your application. So once you complete all these three modules, your development lead, what he is going to do, he is going to merge that project. Merge means adding all the files whatever you have created. So from here, from here, from here, all these three developers, these three people will be sending that information to your development lead. And also the purpose of your development lead or the main responsibility of your development lead is to review the code what you have written. When I say code, so the files whatever you are creating here. So what will happen if I do the same thing in my local mission? This is called my local mission. So if I do it in my local mission, I will not be able to share this file with him directly. That's the reason we use a platform called GitHub. GitHub is a hosting service for maintaining all the Git repositories. Git means local repository and GitHub means the central repository which is going to act as a server. What exactly it will do? Whatever the work you do from developer 1 system and developer 2, developer 3 systems, you will be sending that information to your development lead. So what he is going to do? He is going to take that project and then he will merge it, vice versa. For example, if your development lead creates the project, then you will take that project to your local, and that means you will be taking that project from somewhere and then you will take it into your local and then you will be working on it. So that we call it as, so there are certain names we use. I'll just write those names. You are going to, if you are taking the code from your developer, so if you are taking it, that means you are pulling. If at all you are sending that information, you are pushing the code. If at all your developer is adding couple of files or uh, adding couple of developers work, that we call it as merge. So, and also whenever you do any activity, you will use one more word called commit. Commit means whatever the work you have done, if you wanted to save those changes, then you will make use of commit. So all these things you are going to do in your Git repository. So the purpose of Git means what? It is a version control system and it is used to track the changes to the files. What do you mean by files? For example, the first developer might work on this one and another developer might work on another file. That, let us say, there might be another file like this and sample 1 and then there is a sample 2. So the next developer might work on this. So what we are going to do, we wanted to have all these files into one common place. That review will be taken care by your lead. So to maintain these versions, what we are going to do is we are going to make use of Git. So Git is a local repository, whereas GitHub is a central repository which acts as a server. So what we are going to do is first we will understand how to create the Git account. So in the organization, whenever you go to any company, so what will happen? They will just provide you the URL. Okay, so github.com and they will give you the exact URL and there you can directly sign in using your user ID and password. Okay, so they will provide you some user ID and password and then you can directly sign in. But here to practical knowledge purpose, what we are trying to do is we are signing up and we are trying to create our own account. But in general, you will never create your account when you go to the company. So that job will be taken care by some other people. You will be getting your user ID and password. You will simply access the URL and then you will create, you will log into your GitHub account. So what is the purpose of GitHub? What will happen is whatever the projects, so there are two categories. One is where there is a project which is already available in the company. That means in the company, there is a project which is already currently in progress project. So if you are a new joiner, you have to work on this project. What you have to do is you have to take this project into your local. That means you have to take that project into your local repository, into your system, and then you have to start working on it. That means you will be going to the GitHub and then you will take the project. That taking of the project means you are going to clone the project to your local repository. How to do that we will see later. As of now, you're just trying to understand how you are going to access your GitHub. So now if I click on sign up, I'm reiterating again, you will never create your account in the company. They will create and give it to you. Now I am giving one email ID and password and click on continue button. And you can give your own password, whatever you want. You can give that and then click on continue. So you can enter one username for this. I have written RKPONE and then click on continue. So if at all you would like to get the product updates, yes. If not, no. Click on no. And then there is a start puzzle button and it asks you pick one square that shows two identical objects. So look at that and then click on that. So this is the one, and after that again it will ask you for to identify the one more identical one, and then finally your account will be created. Create account. So what will happen? Your Git account is created and there will be an email which was sent to my rkpone@gmail.com. Just go back and see there is one email which is created, and then you have to give the code whatever is here. You just go and provide it here, and then once that is done you will be able to navigate to the page, and then they will ask you how many members are going to work with you. I'm just selecting 5 to 10 members, and then I'm just writing it as a teacher. Okay, you can select student also, whatever you want. Okay, click on continue, and then what are the specific features you are interested in. Okay, you can select whatever you want here, but for now we are not going to do all these. I'm just selecting one or two and then click on continue. So based on that there will be two options, one is free and another one is your paid version, but we are not looking at a paid version. We will go with free version. Continue for free. So once that is done, if you look at your GitHub account is created and you will be able to see your GitHub account. This is how your account will look like. If you click on this, you will be able to see your account RKPONE, and then you see there is an option for you to create a new repository where you will be able to create your own account, and then you can maintain all your projects. Let's say, assume I am acting like a team lead here. Assume I am the development lead for this project. I have three members, developer 1, developer 2, developer 3. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to share this project, whatever I have created Git demo, to my students or my colleagues or my developers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here. There is an option for you to create new repository. You can create new repository from here, or else you can create new repository from here also. You can do from anywhere, whatever you, wherever you want. So what you are going to do is I'm going to give the same name as Git demo. It is not mandatory to give the same name. You can give anything, whatever you want. I'm just to make it easy, I'm just writing it as Git demo, and then you just click on create repository. So once you click on create repository, you will be able to see there is one URL which is uh, provided by your GitHub. You take that into one notepad and save it into your notepad so that it will be useful for you to uh, share it with your team members. So what we are going to do is, once you get that, so what you have to do is you have to, as a team lead, what you are going to do is you will be going here. See, if at all if you don't see that, you have to go to window and then show view, project explorer. Okay, so click on that, you will be able to see your project. So what it will do, so you have your project here, right? So now what we have to do is, whenever you wanted to have any project with Git, so first step is to have a working directory. So whenever you are having any project into your system, so your first step is to have a local repository. That means you have to have a local Git repository. To do that, you will have an option here at the right side. So see here, you click on this and then you will be going into Git repository. Just type Git repository. See here, you got a Git repositories. Just select that and click on that. And then once you get that, what you're going to do is you click on that and then you click on create new local Git repository. So this is a common step for any person, whoever is working. So what we are going to do is, since I am a lead, I am going to create my local repository here, create new local Git repository. Once you click on that, it will open one window and then it will say what is that local repository you wanted to create. So you can create from here by clicking on create button. Okay, or else what you can do is you can do the other way by clicking on cancel. You can do one more way using your existing this one. Okay, so this also you can copy and you can create the repository. So what we are going to do with each and every developer, like how your developer will create this repository, and what are all the steps he will do, and after that how he will share with the developers, and how the developers will work individually and send it back to the developer development lead, and then get that reviewed, and then what are all the changes he will provide, how these people will update it. So this entire process we are going to see in the next video. So I wanted to do it in three parts. One is just to give you a basic overview of what is Git and what is GitHub, and then what is the purpose of GitHub and Git, and after that how to create your GitHub account, and then after that what we are going to do is what would be the activities of the lead, how he will use the GitHub, and what is the activity of the individual developers. So all those things I wanted to do it in three videos. So the first video will talk about, I'm just listing out here the first video, what exactly it will do, what is Git we have discussed, what is GitHub, and then how to create Git account, and then how to purpose of, what is the purpose of Git and GitHub. So in simple terms, you can say Git is local repository, whereas GitHub is a service which acts as a server. That means remote repository. Remote repository means whatever the work is done by these multiple people, that will go into your remote repository. So that's where your Git and GitHub will help us. Okay, so we will see the next one in the next video.